Why does it feel like no matter how nice you are or how hard you work, there is always someone trying to tear you down? You've met them. The loud ones, the subtle ones, the ones who make you feel small without ever raising their voice. You've spent hours wondering, what is wrong with me? Why am I a magnet for these people? Jinkies? But if you want the answer to that question, you first have to understand the people you're dealing with and exactly why they act the way they do. 1. The Insecure Projectionist. This person is loud because they are deeply, painfully insecure. Their operating system is built on fear. They honestly believe that if they don't make you look bad, people will see how average they are. They aren't attacking your work. They are attacking your confidence to hide their own failures. But let's look at how this plays out in the real world. Imagine this. You present a great project, and they interrupt you with a loud, aggressive comment just to make you look foolish. They want you to get defensive. The exit. Don't fight back. Stay calm. Look them in the eye and ask, I hear that you have a problem, but do you have a solution? Are you here to help or just to point out flaws? When they can't provide a solution, everyone sees they are just faking it. 2. The Social Strategist. This person treats friendships like a game of chess. They want to be top dog by making you look less than. They use subtle tricks like whispers or backhanded compliments to lower your status without ever having to start a real fight. But let's look at how this plays out in the real world. Imagine this. You're in a group and they make a joke about a mistake you made in the past. The room laughs and they look at you to see if you'll get upset. The exit. Use the curiosity trap. Don't get angry. Calmly ask, I don't get it. Why is that funny to you? When they have to explain their rudeness, they look like the bad person in the room. And the game ends. 3. The Opportunist. This is a lazy bully. They don't want a hard fight, they want an easy win. They target people who are already tired or stressed because they know you don't have the energy to push back. But let's look at how this plays out in the real world. Imagine this. It's a busy Friday afternoon and you are exhausted. They dump their extra work on your desk, expecting you to just take it. The exit. Be boring. If you give them an emotional reaction, they win. Give short, plain answers. Tell them, I'll do that when I can. But not right now. If you aren't fun to mess with, they will leave you alone and find an easier target. 4. The Authority Bully. This person thinks their job title makes them better than everyone else. They use their power to belittle others because they are actually terrified that they don't know how to be a real leader. But let's look at how this plays out in the real world. Imagine this. You're in a meeting and they make fun of you in front of the team to show off their power. The exit. Be perfectly professional. Don't apologize for things you didn't do wrong. Keep a record of every rude interaction. When you do your job perfectly, their bad behavior makes them look unprofessional, not you. 5. The Victim Bully. This is the most manipulative type. They are mean to you first, but the moment you stand up for yourself, they act like you are the one being mean. They want to be the victim so they can avoid taking responsibility. But let's look at how this plays out in the real world. Imagine this. You call them out for lying. They go quiet, act hurt, and tell others that you are being aggressive or scary. The exit. Don't try to explain yourself. They already know what they did. Keep your interactions brief and never be alone in a room with them. Don't let them make you the villain. 6. The Intellectual Snob. They use big, complicated words to make you feel stupid. This is just a defense trick. They are scared that if you got close, you'd realize they aren't as smart as they pretend to be. But let's look at how this plays out in the real world. Imagine this. You share an idea, and they respond with a long, condescending lecture full of jargon to make you feel small. The exit. Refuse to be impressed. Simply ask, can you explain that in plain English? When you strip away their fancy words, you'll usually see there was no real point to what they were saying. 7. The Jester Bully. They make fun of you and then say, relax, it's just a joke. They're afraid of being real with people, so they use humor to keep everyone at a distance. But let's look at how this plays out in the real world. Imagine this. They say something mean about you, and when you look upset, they tell you that you are too sensitive. The exit. Don't laugh. Don't smile. Look at them silently until the room feels awkward. A joke that gets no laugh is just a failed social moment. Once they realize they can't get a reaction, they will stop. 8. The silent eraser. This person is a coward. They ignore you or exclude you on purpose to make you feel invisible. They want you to chase them for attention so they can feel powerful. But let's look at how this plays out in the real world. Imagine this. You are in a group and they act like you aren't even there, or they forget to invite you to plans. The exit. Stop chasing. The second you try to prove you exist, you give them power. Act like they don't exist. Give your time to people who actually see you. Being fully happy in your own life is the best way to handle someone who tries to ignore you. 9. The Moralizer. This person believes they are the judge of everyone else's behavior. They want you to be wrong so they can lecture you, using rules as a tool to control you. But let's look at how this plays out in the real world. Imagine this. You make a small mistake and they jump on you with a lecture about why you are wrong or insensitive. The exit. Do not debate their rules. Simply say, I hear your point of view, but I have a different one, and stop talking. If you try to argue, you validate their position as the judge. Just state your difference and stop the conversation. 10. The chronic competitor. This person cannot handle you succeeding. They keep a mental tally of wins and losses, and if you have a win, they feel threatened. But let's look at how this plays out in the real world. Imagine this. You share good news about a promotion or a win, and they immediately start talking about something better that happened to them, ignoring your moment. The exit. Don't try to win the competition. If you try to outdo them, you're playing their game. Be unimpressed. Give a neutral, that's cool, and change the subject. By refusing to give them the applause they want, you make their competition meaningless. Now that you see the full theater of these 10 archetypes, we arrive back at that original question. Why am I a magnet for these people? The answer is simple, but it's difficult to accept. You have been a magnet for them because until now, you were the perfect audience. You were the one who engaged, the one who tried to explain, the one who tried to fix the interaction, and the one who looked for the logic in their chaos. You were the fuel they needed to sustain their performance. But look at what happens when you stop. The moment you refuse to be the audience, they have to find a new stage. They have to find someone else to perform for. You haven't changed because you were broken. You've changed because you've stopped giving away your power. You aren't a magnet for bullies anymore. You're a mirror. And for someone who lives in a world of performance, there is nothing more terrifying than a mirror that refuses to reflect their script back at them. You are no longer their audience. You are the author of your own story. Walk away and don't look back.